Hey everyone, welcome back to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast. I am Nicole filling in for the last day for Nate. He's going to be back with you guys next week. And as always, I am here with Mo Nawara, our MLB expert from thelines.com. As always, if you need a FanDuel account or a DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, give us a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you know every time we post a new video. Mo, how you feeling about today's slate of games?
Feeling better than I have been about the last couple, but we'll see how it goes. Been getting my teeth kicked in the last few days, but it happens.
We're turning it around today. I can feel it.
I hope. I mean, I like today's quite a bit more. So, these Friday slates are always good. A lot of night games, action packed. So hopefully we can pick a winner or two today.
Fingers crossed. Our first game on the slate is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're about to start a 3-game series. St. Louis is currently the favorite in this first game. They're minus 150 on the money line. St. Louis is 13-3 in the last 16 games played against the Pirates, but I think most teams are probably at that record when they're playing against the Pirates. But prior to making this journey to PNC, the Cardinals are coming off of a loss series to the Mets. But as far as the pitching goes, Adam Wainwright will be on the mound for St. Louis with Zach Thompson on the mound for the Pirates. Who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, I like the chalk in this one. Cardinals, I got a minus 145 yesterday. I'm seeing minus 150s and minus 155, so that's a good sign for me. But I still think there's room to play the Cardinals. I had them closer to minus 170 here. Adam Wainwright, just ageless wonder as it gets, man. Low threes ERA, again, with peripherals around 4. I don't know. He seems to have figured out something late in his career to kind of beat his ERA estimators. But when it comes to Wainwright, one thing you always like to look at is other teams' offensive performance against curveballs. Uncle Charlie, Wainwright's specialty. So, I was checking into how Pittsburgh's done against the curve. Pretty poor. They're 6th worst overall, 6th worst against curveballs, so not doing any better there. And that's 30% of Wainwright's pitch mix. It's his main secondary. So that's a good sign for him. Also, another good sign is that the Pirates do hit kind of a lot of grounders, 10th most grounders. Waino's been very, very good at getting grounders, especially this year. He's up to 53%. And then, Zach Thompson on the other side. I have him not too far above replacement level. I just think the Cardinals are quite a bit better basically everywhere. Offense, defense, bullpen, and starting pitching. So it's if you're willing to pay some juice, I think it's not a bad spot to take the Cardinals. And even if you want to play the run line, I don't think that's the worst here, although I don't expect a ton of runs. So usually you want a more high run environment for that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think my nephew's, T-ball could maybe beat the Pirates at this point after what I saw against the Cubs. But no, I like that pick as well.
They were okay early in the season, and now they just start playing completely awful.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say they were okay during that game. I was like, no, not from what I saw. But yeah, earlier in the season, a little bit of hope maybe, but that is quickly gone. All right, next we have the Oakland A's versus the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels and the Athletics are going to face off at Angels Stadium. The Angels are coming off of 3 straight losses against the Rangers in their last series, and that trio of losses dropped them to a record of 24-16, placing them second in the AL West. Taking a look at the pitchers, we have Paul Blackburn for the A's and Chase Silseth. Oh, that is a tongue twister. Chase Silseth for the Angels. The A's are currently plus 155. The A's are plus 155 and the Angels are currently minus 180 at the money line. What do you like on this one?
So this is a weird one. I could be wildly off on this one, but just pretty surprised by the market love for Chase Silseth. I did go ahead and take the A's at plus 150. It looks like it's going the other way. So not the worst or not the best start for me on this one. But man, I'm just like, I didn't watch Chase Silseth.
It's
You're
hard.
right. This is harder than it looks. I didn't watch Chase Silseth's first start, but only 29 innings of Double A experience. I mean, I was looking. He performed tremendously, but we're obviously in a sample that's like unbelievably small still, and we can't take too much away. And he wasn't a prospect at all. It would be different if he was some top prospect. I'd be a little more inclined to believe in his big game, but 11th round pick, just not a guy I would expect to come out and dominate major league hitters at all. So I guess we'll see if it keeps up, but I don't really believe in it right now. And on the other side, Paul Blackburn, people who've been listening to the show probably know that I definitely believe in Paul Blackburn. He's probably been maybe my top horse this year as far as starting pitchers go. His velocity bump is like kind of tailing off a little bit. He's not throwing quite as hard as he did at the beginning of the season, but he's still throwing harder than he did last year, and he has in his career. So as long as he keeps that up, he's about a half tick higher than last year's velocity. I think the market's probably underestimating his breakout a little bit here. Nobody's squaring him up. Nobody's walking. He's only allowed 4 barrels all season. I know that the Angels obviously have a much better offense than the A's, but I think with the A's, having a better pitcher here, this number, I just can't get the number this high, basically. And I also don't trust the Angels bullpen at all. They have the fourth worst FIP in the majors. Just a spot where basically if Blackburn can keep it close, I just don't think the A's should be this big of underdogs.
Sounds good. And we're going to take it into our final game of the day. We have the Seattle Mariners versus the Boston Red Sox. Seattle lost the opening game in this series against the Red Sox last night, so they're going to be looking to bounce back. The Mariners are sending left-hander Robbie Ray to the mound tonight with Michael Wacha pitching for the Red Sox. Currently, the Mariners are at plus 100 with Boston at minus 120 on the money line. And you, I believe, like the Mariners here.
I do. It's interesting that I like the Mariners, honestly, because Robbie Ray's been a guy I've been fading all year, basically. I talked about it from pretty much his first start when Robbie Ray's fastball velocity is sitting in like the 92, 93 range. He really hasn't been successful at all in his career. It's finally inching up a little bit, which I said basically from the start that I wasn't like super concerned long-term, but I needed to fade him while he's not throwing hard, basically. And I figured he would eventually stretch out and get back to his normal velocity. He's not quite at where he was last year, but he's getting close. His last game, according to StatCast, throwing 94.3 on average. That's only 0.3 less than last year. And that was his highest fastball velocity of the season. So I think if he keeps on that track, or even just honestly stays above 94, he'll be fine. Because basically before that, he just hasn't been, or below that, he just hasn't been a good pitcher in his career. He's still getting all the whiffs, 14.9% swinging strike rate, which is very, very, very strong. That's, the most important thing that I honestly look at is the ability to miss bats. And then on the other side, Michael Wacha, 1.38 ERA, but just it's entirely luck based. He has a 162 BABIP and 94% strand rate. So he's just not allowing any of the runners that get on base to cross home plate. So with Boston not being that great against lefties so far this year, they're, I think, 28th in baseball in WRC plus. And it's a little bit tricky with lefties because you get in a smaller sample early in the season. Usually takes teams a little longer to face more lefties, but I'm looking at their other stats, and honestly, it doesn't look like they've been like unlucky or anything. They have a 295 BABIP against lefties, which is pretty normal. So I don't think bad luck is driving that. I think this is playable up to minus 110. I do think the Mariners should be slight favorites here, and right now they're rated as a coin flip, so a little bit of value on the Mariners. I think so. Let's see how Robbie Ray performs, I guess. But maybe the market swung too far the other way where it's underestimating him.
I like it. And that wraps it up for us today, guys. I want to say thanks for letting me join you, Mo, this week to cover some baseball. Like I said, you guys are going to get Nate back next week on this MLB Coast to Coast podcast. And before we go, again, good luck with your wagers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you know all the updates that we post. And we will be back next week.